So Grok 3 just dropped. Big fanfare, big claims, and a big graph. And you see this graph? It's turning heads. It shows Grok beating everyone. OpenAI, DeepSeek, Google. But take a look closer. See that shading? This is where it gets interesting, because what you're looking at is two different scores. Consensus at 1, which is one prediction, and consensus at 64. That's 64 predictions. Let me explain to you why consensus 64 is so powerful. Suppose your model is right only 60% of the time. That means if you run it once, 60% of the time. But look what happens if you run it 64 times and you take the most common answer. The right answer rises up through the noise. Your score goes up, and this is the power of ensembling. Here's the kicker. That 64 times takes a ton more compute, which is why no one does this in the real world. It gets interesting here for how OpenAI used it. Now, they use consensus 64 scores to compare their models. They showed how their new models at consensus 1, just doing it once, beat old ones that went through and used consensus 64. Grok? Nah. They used it to make graphs like this. Truth is that consensus 1, they're not number 1. Now, is Grok the first to be shady with their graphs? Nah, Google. But if you need 64 times to be number 1, are you really number 1?